Henny Demore reporting live from the liquor store. How's everybody doing today, man? So, hey, we got a good show for y'all, man. We're gonna talk about some off-season things that being reported, some convos, some different conversations about things going on around the team, and of course, as you can see by the title, man, we also will give you an update on the Dallas Cowboy raffle that we're doing for the tickets for the home game. So, before we get too far into the content, though, man, I need y'all to come into the liquor store, hit that like button, hit that share button for me. And also, I need you to slap an Eagles fan, man, because if you slap the shit out of an Eagles fan, man, you will receive half off all of the merchandise inside the liquor store, man. And, we got good things in here. Hey, my boy, hey, what's up with your Keystone? My boy, hey, my boy in here with me, Tavis Banks. I think my brother was exiled, but he's back in the building. Jameson Taylor, what's up with you, man? Thanks for tapping in. Double R, part of the Wrench Gang. I see you. Joe reporting all the way from Italy. I see you, my brother. He said, "What's up, Cowboy Nation? Waiting for the liquor store to open. I can really use a drink." He said, "I'm slapping so many Eagle fans that I got my mom." Dang, like you, man. Hey, you had to get back up to slap them up like that, man. You doing God's work. Don't let them tell you otherwise, man. So yeah, real quick though. Hey, I know you lying, landlord from Wakanda. I see you fresh out the trap of vibranium. Salute to you, man. So let's see, man. But nah, we good though, man. We gonna be rocking, man. We gonna be rocking. Hey, Brian Kite, what's up with you, man? Thank you for tapping in, showing love to the liquor store. So real quick, before we get into the actual content, I'm gonna get this out the way. I'm gonna get the raffle updates out the way. Just in case y'all wondering what we're talking about in regards to a raffle, this is it. We're doing a Dallas Cowboy ticket giveaway. So it's $10 per entry. You can either send your entries through Cash App or you can send it through Super Chat or Super Stickers. And first place winner will receive a Dallas Cowboy home game ticket with a seat attached to it. So you can go up there and see the Cowboys completely obliterate the Philadelphia Eagles live in person. Second place winner will also get a ticket to the same game just for standing room area and general admission. And then the third place winner is either going to get a PlayStation 4 or a Dallas Cowboys jersey of the winner's choice. Right. So you want to participate. You got until now, until the 1st of August. So you got to the 1st of August, get your entries in. So I'm going to give y'all the updates on that. Then we're going to talk about everything else. Like I like getting the raffle updates out the way first, and then we'll talk about the content. Hey, what's up with you, Miss Green? Thank you for tapping in, showing love to the channel. Salute to you. Salute to you. So let's see. All right. So these are the entries up to this point. Mickey has 4 entries, so salute to her. Dwayne Brown has 4 entries. Blake, it's too easy. You got 3 of them. Brian Kite, you have half an entry. You need $5 more in order to get a full entry for the Dallas Cowboys ticket. So you send another $5, you will have an entry. Hoodlum, you got an entry. Salute to you. Sharon Bell has an entry. DC for Life Texas has an entry. Neil, you got 7 entries, man. So salute to you. The Lunatic got an entry. Donald Holmes. Taiwan, you got 3 of them. Crystal got an entry. Mike DC4L got an entry for the raffle, so salute to you. Josie Guterres has an entry. King G got an entry. Michael Atri has an entry. Hey, shout out to VA Rasta X. He has 14 entries and the best chance of winning the Dallas Cowboy main prize of the home game ticket with a seat. So salute to him. Big Benny got an entry. Justin got an entry. Sugar Daddy 1 has an entry. Damn Dizzle has an entry. Big Dal got an entry. JJ got 2 entries. Wonder has an entry. Salter got 2. S.A. Richburg has an entry. And my boy Mucho Boomer has an entry. So I just had to get it out the way. That is the current standing for the Dallas Cowboy ticket raffle. Again, it is not the person that sends the most. It's the person that's drawn randomly. But, you improve your odds the more that you send. So salute to y'all for participating, showing love to the liquor store. And if you want to improve your chances, just hit the Cash App or hit the Super Chats. And I gotta get used to saying that. I've been getting it out the mud for a very long time. So, I ain't used to even including super chats. Y'all know I just now got monetized. So if I ever slip up on the tongue and don't mention it, charge to my mind and not my heart. But yeah, I do accept those as well. Hey, South Tex, what's up with you, man? Thanks for tapping in and showing love to the channel, man. Salute to you. So yeah, man, let's jump right into the content now, man. We got all that out the way. We paid the bills. Our bills are paid. So let's get into the content. So let's start with this, man. We all know that 4-time Pro Bowl running back Dalvin Cook was recently released from the Minnesota Vikings. They just got rid of him Friday, and he became an unrestricted free agent with the ability to sign with any team. So we all know that he is highly coveted. He's one of the better running backs in the National Football League. He's made 4 straight Pro Bowls, rushed for 1,100 yards in 4 consecutive seasons. Has the 3rd most rushing yards over the last 4 years and the 2nd most rushing touchdowns over the last 4 years. So when you think about Dalvin Cook, the key word is productive. He is one of the most productive running backs in the National Football League. But when you're like that, when you got a resume like that, you can make demands. Like you have the caveat and the cachet, to demand some real money, and that's what's being reported right now. So according to this report, former Vikings running back Dalvin Cook is looking for a significant contract in free agency. Right? Significant. That's the key word, significant. Right? When you're married, they call your partner your significant other. That means they very important. They VIP. Very special. Said Cook won't sign a $4 to $5 million type of contract. And so there you have it. He said, according to DMV film, he's not washed, and we wonder why he don't want $5 million. And that's exactly it. Like Dalvin Cook is still, not only is Dalvin Cook still a top 10 running back, he's a top 5 running back. He's a top 5 running back. Based on everything. Like he is a top 5 running back. So, of course, he will have a market. Even though they have tried to suppress the running back market as a whole, recently, that they made Aaron Jones, take a pay cut. They released Dalvin Cook, did this, did that. There's still value in having a good running back. And we're a team that values running backs. We used a 1st-round pick to get Zeke. We extended him. We used a franchise tag to keep Tony Pollard under contract and not allow him to hit free agency. So we value having running backs. So, I think Dalvin Cook has a place on this team, but I do not think that Dalvin Cook has a place in Jerry Jones, in pocketbook. Right? I don't think that they're willing to spend the kind of money that he's going to want to become a Dallas Cowboy. That they already said $4 to $5 million won't get it done, and that's about as much money as I think that they'll be willing to spend to bring them in here. So and listen, I still want them, but I know how these things work. I understand that we have other free agents to sign, and I understand they don't want to put that much money into the running back room, because if you give him about $7, $8, $9 million, however much money he actually wants, you already got $10 million, tied up with Tony Pollard. So you'll be spending almost $20 million just in the running back room. So, I think because of that, I don't believe that they'll bring him in. And, we can stop the inquiries now. Right? We know the Dallas Cowboys ain't going to pay nobody. So, now it's pretty clear that it's either going to be a return of Ezekiel Elliott, or just going to be a backup 2 running back by committee. South Tech said, "Hey Henny, I got a question." All right, let's put it up here for everybody to see. What's your question? Let me get this pulled up. He said, "Hey Hen, I got a question. If you could swap one player from the NFC East with us to upgrade any position, what players would you pick?" Well, let's see. That's a hard one. That's a very hard one. I really don't know. I really ain't got an answer for that right off the top when I'm thinking about it, because I'm happy with our wide receiving core. I like our offensive line. Now that they say that Tyler Smith is going to play left guard, so I don't know. That's a real good question. Maybe I kick the tire, not kick the tires, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't think there's anybody that fits that mold right now. Yo, what's up with you, Joe Tranchina? Yeah, he said Keith Sweat, nobody. Yeah, I don't think there's really anybody that I'm coveting. Nah, cause I still don't want Jordan Malata. I'm not saying. Listen, I'm not saying that he's not a good player, but like, who am I swapping out? He said Lane Johnson. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I guess you could say Lane Johnson he's a better player than Terrence Steele. I ain't gonna hate on him. So yeah, I guess Lane Johnson would work. And you could say Deron Payne for Hankins, but I'm not giving up Mozzie Smith. So yeah, he said Dickerson. Nah, I ain't going that far. I think Dwayne Johnson. I think Lane Johnson is about as far as it's gonna go. And yeah, I think you were maybe Waller. Maybe I swap out one of my tight ends for Waller because of his history. Especially if we can keep him healthy. Now, don't get me wrong. There's some very good players in the NFC East, but I'm very confident in the current makeup of my team. Well, see, like, I wasn't thinking about our backups. Of course, I trade some of my backups to get some of these starters on these other teams. So, I feel what you're saying though. But I thought we were going starter for starter. Nah. I swap Hankins for Payne, but I ain't giving up Mozzie. And you can call me crazy, but like, hell, I'll keep Mozzie and pairing with Payne, but I can't give up Payne. I can't give up Mozzie for Payne. Yeah, like JC said, like we ain't seen Mozzie Smith yet. So if what if Mozzie Smith was better than Deron Payne, and we gave him up right in a swap? Hendershot, I do go there for Hendershot, and I'm not saying that Jake is better than Goddard or anything like that. But I want to keep some of my other good players along with it. But yeah, as far as Dalvin Cook though, man, I definitely would like it. I would definitely like him in Dallas. I think he can complement Tony Pollard very well. But I just don't think the Dallas Cowboys are going to make a move. And like I said, if we're being realistic, it's more likely that the Dallas Cowboys will resign Ezekiel Elliott before they spend this kind of money on Dalvin Cook. Because I think Ezekiel Elliott's contract will only be about $1 to $2 million if you were to bring him back. So I think that they would bring Zeke back for $1 or $2 million, before they pay Dalvin Cook about nine or 8. But hey, there was no rules to the swap. We were just swapping folks out. I swap Hankins out for Payne and keep both of them. Right? It wasn't like we had to give up a good player to get one of their good players in this hypothetical swap. All right, so moving along, we're going to talk about overall team success. Shout out to the 33rd team for this graphic. This graphic actually shows every team in the NFL's last season where they actually had 11 wins. And some of these results may surprise you, because some of these teams ain't did nothing in a very long time, man. Ain't did jack squat. So let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at the graphic. and you'll feel a little bit better about your Dallas Cowboys just looking at it. I guarantee it. He said, "Can I swap Jerry Jones for another owner?" All right, so let's see. So the Cardinals, the last time they had an 11-win season was in 2021, so they're like a year removed. The Falcons have not won 11 wins since 2016 when they went to the Super Bowl. Ugh. All right. Ravens haven't won. You know, to put that in perspective, I didn't really realize this. The Ravens haven't won 11 games since 2020 during Lamar Jackson's was that his MVP campaign? I can't remember. All right. Let's see. Carolina has not won 11 games since 2017. It's been 2018 for the Bears. Cowboys, of course, we won 12 games this year, so we did pass the 11-game mark. It's been since 2015 for the Broncos. Been since 2014 for the Lions. All right. Green Bay is a year removed. It's been since 2018 for the Houston Texans. They have not won anything. Been since 2020 for the Colts. Jacksonville ain't won 11 games since 2007. Jesus. So, you know, teams be hey, I want y'all to just keep this in mind when we're going through this list. Everybody talks about what the Cowboys ain't did, and there's plenty of teams that can't even win regular season games, apparently, right? All right, let's take a look. The Raiders have not won 12 games or more since Dak Prescott's rookie year. Hey, DC for Life, Texas, man. What's up with you, my guy? Thank you for tapping in, showing love to the channel, man. Salute to you. Salute, salute. All right, so let's continue down here. So, hey, I also want to point this out. The Los Angeles Chargers, you know, even though they allegedly have a top 5 quarterback, because you know everybody puts Justin Herbert in their top 5 for some reason. Despite the fact that they allegedly have a top 5 quarterback, they have not won 11 games or more since 2018 before he was even on the team. Right? So hey, we can say that Justin Herbert has never won more than 10 games since he's been a Los Angeles Charger, right? But somehow he escaped scrutiny, never won a playoff game. But let's continue. Miami Dolphins haven't won 11 games since 2008. Washington Commanders, Redskins, or whatever they may be, have not won 11 games or more since 1991. Jesus. So yeah, let's take a good look. People, every name on here. You know, and listen, like I said, they love pointing out what the Dallas Cowboys do. But last time I checked, the Dallas Cowboys went 12-5 back-to-back seasons. Facts. Yeah, Clebo. They like that boy because he is a fantasy darling. They're winning money off of him. You know what I'm saying? They're winning money off of him. So that's why, you know, they love him so much. They're winning their prop bets and, you know, they winning their fantasy leagues off the back of Justin Herbert, but he's not winning actual football games. Yeah, Tabs, they just riding stats. All right, so let's move along, man. We already see they got these stupid narratives around our team, not holding anybody to the same standards as us. You know, such is the world. So let's talk about something else, and these two actually tie in together. So this is actually judging average depth of target, right? So, you know, this is about that narrative that Dak Prescott is a dink-a-dunk quarterback. So let's go ahead and shatter that. So average depth of target is a measure of how far downfield a player is typically targeted or targeting others. If a player averaged 15 air yards on his targets, then his ADOT would be 15 yards. The closer to the line of scrimmage a player catches the ball, the average his lower the lower his average is. All right. So these are the average depth of targets for quarterbacks in the 2022 season. So Josh Allen, average depth of target is 9.7. Right? That's not bad. That's actually very good. But look who's right behind him. Is that Dak Prescott? Is that the quarterback they say don't throw the ball downfield, averaging almost 9 yards on his average depth of target, which is more than Jalen Hurts, who averaged 8.6, more than Aaron Rodgers, who averaged 8.5, more than Trevor Lawrence, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, and of course it's more than Daniel Jones. Hey, salute to Mickey for coming through and showing love to the chat, man. Salute to you. Thank you for tapping in. And yeah, DC4 Life, what's up, man? You doing okay, my brother? I appreciate you for tapping in with me. So yeah, so this narrative that he is a quarterback that checks the ball down, does not push the ball down the field, it's tiresome, man. It's old. This shows it's not true. And listen, if that is the case, then how is he averaging more yards in attempt than Patrick Mahomes? How's he averaging more yards, per attempt than Trevor Lawrence and Tom Brady the GOAT and Patrick Mahomes, right? If Dak Prescott was a dink and dunk quarterback, like, he would not be up here on this metric. We've been running the season record constantly, whether or not we have a great team. Yeah, we consistently have a winning record. Like, even when we have glaring holes on our teams, we find a way to have winning seasons. We're gonna win. We're gonna win about 11 games every year. Mahomes and Dak got about the same accuracy percentage, and he's not accurate. Dak Prescott actually has a much better I ain't gonna say much better, but he has a better completion percentage and passer rating than Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes has the hardware though, so that therein lies the difference. All right, so Mickey is out here in these streets eating cat, because we all know that what Chinese food is. It's somebody pet. You should feel ashamed that you ate Mr. Bubbles. Mahomes, Dak Prescott. Listen, Dak Prescott is top 10 all time in career passer rating, career completion percentage, touchdown to interception ratio, all that stuff. Like, he's higher than Tom Brady, in regards to that. He's higher than Patrick Mahomes in regards to that. A lot of people will point to, era, different things like that, but the numbers are what the numbers are. They only want context when it's a player that they don't like. All right, so let's tie this back into something else. Right? So, all right. You crazy, Mickey. He said, all right, so this is Dak Prescott at where he ranks among deep passers. You read the full article. They have him ranked at the 4th best deep ball passer in the National Football League. But I wanted to tie this all together. We just looked at his average depth of target. Never going to look at his overall deep ball accuracy. Yo, what's up with you, Jasmine? Thank you for tapping in and showing love to the liquor store. Salute to you. So right here, per Next Gen Stats, Prescott went 14 of 35 for 484 yards, 5 touchdowns to only 1 interception on deep passes. He also clocked a passer rating of 115.2. Right? All right, so these deep ball passes are regarded as passes that travel 20 plus air yards. So it's going at least it's going at least 40 feet. Oh, I'm sorry, because a yard is actually 3 feet. It's going at least 60 feet. I'm sorry, the ball is traveling at least 60 feet through the air. 20 20 yards in the air overall, right? So so these are all legitimate deep passes, right? I know some people like using 25 yards, something ridiculous that they pulled out their asses, but the NFL itself, says that deep passes are 20 yards or more. So that's the metric that they used. So he completed 40% of his deep passes, and he had a 29.7 deep X completion percentage, which is a quarterback's average completion probability that constitutes the level of difficulty of a set pass. All right. They also stated that Prescott produced a deep completion percentage above expectation of over 10.3%. The difference between a quarterback's completion percentage and expected completion percentage. So that boy out there was going crazy, man. So he was one of the more accurate deep ball passers. He did not really throw interceptions when throwing the ball down the field. He scored a bunch of touchdowns when throwing the ball over 20 yards, and he did it on limited attempts. We all know that he got injured and missed 5 weeks. So we know that Dak Prescott did not have a full season to put these numbers up, but he still went out there as one of the most accurate, deep ball passers in the league. So these narratives that he is a dink and dunk quarterback, right? And he did this with a wide receiving core that was at the very bottom outside of CeeDee Lamb in separation and wide receiver rankings. Right, because them boys do not rank out good at anything. So just to put that into perspective, and then look at the players we added. Look at Brandon Cooks, who runs a 4.3, has been a vertical threat all his life, being added into the mix, and just project what Dak Prescott will do next season. Right, you look at us, signing someone like Taron Johnson, who might have a role at some point. You never know. You look at us, trying to incorporate Kevontae Turpin into the offense more, who runs a 4.2. Tony Pollard's supposedly going to be more involved in the passing game in this West Coast offense. He's a 4.3 guy. So we got way more speed, way more versatility, way more explosiveness. Yo, what's up with you, JC? I see you, man. Salute to you, my guy. So we see, what Dak Prescott did with limited weapons and limited opportunities to throw the ball down the field. I just expect that to take a major jump, this upcoming season, especially since we're expecting to run more play action this year. Right, South Texas. He said the hate on our players is mad crazy. They keep saying Dak is mid. Cookie. Listen, if you wear a star on your helmet, they're going to say that you're mid. It's just the way of the world. At this point, I don't even let it bother me because I know it's not true. Because listen, we got fan bases that can't even beat our team talking crazy about us, right? When the last time have the Eagles beaten Dak Prescott? It's going on 4 years. It was 2019. So you ain't beat my quarterback in almost half a decade, but he sucks. Yeah, they drink bleach, man. They drink bleach. I said Dak getting ready to go wild this year with 3 good receivers. Yeah, and this is another thing that people don't be thinking about. Like the players that he had when he had Amari Cooper, when he had CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup all together, right? Those guys only played 12 games together. They only played like 12 games together due to Dak Prescott's injury, due to them having their own injuries. Amari Cooper vaccination thing happened, so he missed time. So like there's a bunch of time where they were not even on the field together. Yeah, they listen, they ate the shit and they washed it down with bleach. That's why they talk the way they talk. Hypocrisy. He said they drink out the toilet. They eat out the toilet too, apparently. One of the crazy takes I heard was that they would rather take Quez Watkins over. Man, listen. there is being a fan and then there's being a homer. Most Eagles are homers. You know what I mean? Like they swear up and down every player they have is superior to other guys around the league. So yeah, we're not gonna talk about a fan base that eats raw shit at the horse's booty. It's a waste of time. We can have more articulate, conversations than talk about Eagles. And a shout out to Jalen Tolbert, a friend of the show and the podcast. This is Michael Gilkin reporting on him and his progress, over the offseason and the strides that he has made to improve his game. So he caught 2 passes as a rookie, right? Only 2 passes. Today, the Dallas Cowboys consider him their most improved wide receiver, right? So, I did not read, I did not actually download the article to bring it up and read it to you. But, they pretty much just talked about him forming a relationship with Brandon Cooks, him taking him under his wings, him helping him along the way in his development. They also talked about Dak Prescott leadership. He gave him a book to read called Ruthlessness, that helped him with his confidence, different things like that. So he's been doing a lot of things in the offseason, not only to prepare himself physically, but also to prepare himself mentally, to improve and take that next jump and to be somebody that the Dallas Cowboys can rely on as we try and hunt down this 6th championship. So I'm elated, man. I think the world of Jalen Tolbert. I think the world of his ability. He has all the tools that would make him a perfect fit within a West Coast system. And remember, this is a guy who went for over 1,400 yards, his last year in college. Like Jalen Tolbert, for people who do not know, he is 3rd all time in his conference in career receiving yards, and he's 1st all time in his school in career receiving yards. So he went out there and went crazy when he was out there collegiately. Like he set all kinds of records. He was that kind of wide receiver. And really, man, if you compare him to some of the guys coming out, right? If we compare him to some of the guys coming out, like he probably would have went in the 2nd round this year when you look at the overall receiver talent. He said Tolbert is really about to become the new number 3 if Gallup ain't careful. I also believe Gallup will be back to himself. He just need to prepare himself accordingly. I can feel that. And yeah, Tim Purnell. Yeah, we don't need D-Hop. And listen, Dallas Cowboys made it clear they didn't need D-Hop when they went and got Brandon Cooks. And to be honest, and this is not to say that Brandon Cooks is a better wide receiver than D-Hop, even though this time right now he might be. But he is a better scheme fit for what we want to do in the West Coast offense. We know that he can take the top off of a defense. We know that he, is a vertical threat. We know that he is good with yards after the catch. So, and we also know that he has a very diverse route tree. So, I said this a couple times, but Brandon Cooks actually fits into this offensive scheme a little bit better than DeAndre Hopkins did. So yeah, man, we rock with him though. But I think Brandon Cooks is a better fit. Yep, D-Hop was begging. He had a whole campaign run, try to politic to become a Dallas Cowboy. He said, and we got Semi Brooks and other undrafted free agents waiting in the wings. Hey, listen, I think Jalen Moreno Cropper is a fit too. I'm a die on this hill. He may not even make the team, but I'm very high on that kid. I think, with his versatility, him being a 4-4 guy, explosive, I believe in him. Hey, shout out to JC, man, for the super chat. He said, congrats on the 1K, my brother. We got to collab soon. Man, just let me know something, man. I've been waiting to hear from you. You supposed to have been done, hit me up and let me know a time, man. But hey, just let me know something. We definitely will do. You definitely can come into the liquor store or I come into the lounge. It does not matter. Just let me know something, man. But salute to you. And JC, you got half an entry. I got you half an entry. So next time you send a super chat, you'll get a full entry. to get a raffle entry. So salute to you. But yeah, we don't need DeAndre Hopkins. No, we don't need DeAndre Hopkins at all. And I'm a guy that's a fan of DeAndre Hopkins, man. Like, he was a monster, in Houston. He made life easy for Kyler Murray. So he's been a very productive wide receiver at every stop that he's been at. But I just feel so good about what Brandon Cooks can bring to the table, man. I just feel so good about what he can bring to the table. I ain't tripping on nobody. At all. Man, hey, real talk. I'm very high on that kid, man. Very high on that kid. So let's see. All right, so that's the cap. So I know we already talked about this, but this keeps rubbing me the wrong way. So I see $20 million, and there's no way that it's cost $20 million to pay a good kicker. I'm not going to let this go until the Dallas Cowboys go out there and sign Robbie Gould. We need to start a campaign. So we need to start a campaign. So next time y'all go out here, man, on the social media platforms, we need to put a pound sign, sign Gold or something, tag the Cowboys. We got a campaign to get this man, make this man become a Dallas Cowboy. You got the money, you ain't spent it. It really ain't going. Really, the extensions you give these players is not going to affect the salary cap this year anyway. So I need them to go out there and get us a kicker. We already know for a fact D Hop destroyed the man. I remember that, man. Man, did do dirty in a joint practice. I remember that. All right, he said after last season, I want MG to have some proven competition. But see, this the thing. Like, it's always the young dog that ends up eating the old dog when they fall off. Right. So Jalen Tolbert's hungry. And when you think about what he can add to the table, we know he's younger. We know he's a little bit more explosive than Michael Gallup and DeAndre Hopkins in terms of just pure athleticism. So I think that he'll be the guy to push him, especially given Michael Gallup's history with injuries. Like, Jalen Tolbert might be your third wide receiver before the year is over. Like, before the year is over, Jalen Tolbert might be your third wide receiver. So I think that's more. And listen, they are. I believe that's one of the reasons they didn't bother bringing in somebody like DeAndre Hopkins once they got Brandon Cooks. I think they already were eyeballing Jalen Tolbert for that role after the previous season. Because Michael Gallup is going to have to give you something. He's your highest paid wide receiver, and he's like your third best wide receiver at best. He's your third best wide receiver, and he makes more money than everybody else on the team. So, and this is not me pocket watching. This is just me stating how the Dallas Cowboys probably view it. He's not going to. There's nothing he can do, to what's the word that I'm looking for? There's nothing that he can do on the field, to justify the contract that he got. Right? There's nothing here he can do. He's not going to get enough targets now with Brandon Cooks on the field. He's not going to play better than CeeDee Lamb. So there's really nothing that he can do to justify the kind of money that he's making. So honestly, I think this is the last year for Michael Gallup, regardless anyway. Because the Dallas Cowboys still got an out in his contract next year. They can walk away from him. So, regardless of what goes down, I think this is probably the last year that Michael Gallup. He said we ain't even used the tight ends. I don't think we're going to use the tight ends. If y'all did not go look at my video that I did with Landlord, we looked at the history of Dallas. We looked at the history of Mike McCarthy and his tight ends. How often? Excuse me, I can't keep burping. How often they were incorporated into the offense, and it was more of a luxury for his system than a necessity. So when he had an athletic tight end like Jermichael Finley, they got targeted. But when one was not available, he just went 4 wide, and they still had top 10 offenses. So tight end play, was not a make or break thing in the passing game for Mike McCarthy's offense, and it's pretty much the same thing for Brian Schottenheimer. Okay, I got the numbers right here. What's up with your Triple D? Salute to you, man. Thank you for tapping in, showing love, man. Yeah, it's hey, he gonna have to do a lot. He gonna have to do a lot, because I definitely don't know how many opportunities he's going to get as the third wide receiver. As the third option, I'm not really sure how many opportunities he's going to get to be the old Michael Gallup. But yeah, man, like we had did that show in regards to the history of tight ends in Mike McCarthy's system, right? And then of course somebody pointed out, well, it's Brian Schottenheimer, man. He does woo. That's true. But Brian Schottenheimer does not use his tight ends in the passing game either, though, right? So it sort of was a mute point, but I just thought I'd bring this up too, just in case people were wondering, like, well, they do run 12 personnel. Yeah, they do, but they don't throw the ball to the tight end, though. Right, so let's take a look at the targets, yards, and all this other stuff for tight ends for Brian Schottenheimer when he was in Seattle. 2018, Nick Vannett had 42 targets, 269 yards, and only 3 touchdowns. 2019, Jacob Hollister, 59 targets, 349 yards, and 3 touchdowns. 2020, his final season, Jake Hollister got 40 targets, 209 yards, 3 touchdowns. So again, tight ends in both of these guys' systems are damn near non-existent when it comes to actually making plays. Right? So I don't expect the tight ends to be a big part, regardless of who the shot caller is, regardless they going with Mike McCarthy, regardless if they're going with Brian Schottenheimer. The history says that they don't really give a damn about tight ends like that. Yeah, that's that, and that's the point I'm trying to get at, Jeremiah. We're gonna be running these 12 personnel sets for them to actually block. You know what I'm saying? Like these 12 personnel sets are going to be actually to have them out there trying to get, some downfield blocking for your running back. Like they're not in there for pass catching. So in just terms of passing game, your wide receivers will have some gaudy stats. In terms of the tight ends, it's going to be pretty much predominantly for them to block. Just from comparing both systems, both philosophies, I think that's the same. Oh yeah, no doubt, Jeremiah. Yeah. You're very astute, with your analysis. I mean, it's not his fault they signed Cooks, but I could see them trading him or something before just cutting him. Well, it will also just depend on his market value. It will depend on how much, dead money would be in there trading him as opposed to how much dead money there would be cutting him. If it was about the same, then, I think they'll do a trade. If there's more dead money trading him away than cutting him, then, he'll get cut. And it also will be depending on if somebody wants Michael Gallup. It also be depending on if somebody wants Michael Gallup. Not saying that he is not a pretty good wide receiver, but I don't really know how many people really want the kid. So let's see. So we covered that. Real quick though, man, before we continue on, because we're going to do Q&A now that we got this out the way. We did the updates. We talked about the couple of things that they brought up on a Sunday. And listen, I am glad that there were at least a couple of reports to be had on a Sunday. So, thank God that folks are out here working overtime to bring us updates about football and Dallas Cowboys overall. But real quick, let's take a quick light break. I need everybody to go ahead, hit that like button, hit that share button for me. let everybody know the liquor store was open for business. And yeah, just gonna rock out for a little bit longer. We do Q&A. Hey, before we get up out of here, man, why would they take that away from Dak? On some instances, the tight ends had saved Dak when the others couldn't get open. Well, this is the thing. Mostly, when Dak Prescott targets the tight ends, it's usually a check down anyway because they're close in the field, right? Now, granted, I say this with this caveat: if one of these tight ends step up and shows themselves to be a playmaker, if one of these tight ends steps up and show themselves to be somebody that could be this team's Jermichael Finley, then they'll get targets, right? They'll get targets if that's the case. But if they go out there and they're not living up to expectations, then they're not going to get the ball. Like I said, it is a luxury in Mike McCarthy's system, not a necessity. How long will it take Mozzie to take Hankins for the one tech? I don't know, because it's going to depend on because right now they're talking like they're going to play them both together, right? So they're talking like they're going to be the two starting defensive tackles instead of a rotation. So it's going to really depend, which it's going to depend which path the Dallas Cowboys take for how they start their defensive tackles. If they're going to run out Mozzie and Jonathan Hankins at the same time, then it's not going to really matter. But if it's going to be a rotational thing, then I think by mid-season, then Mozzie Smith gets more workload if he just starts the season rotating in. I've heard several instances of camp bodies like the DB they just signed from the Colts, expected to make the team, or they just there for developmental or making the team. Yeah, listen, we got way too many good players for some of these other guys to survive. D Swift, if we're being honest, if you talk about talent, well, not just being on the field production, right? Talent wise, he's probably already as good as Jonathan Hankins stopping the run. Because listen, he was the best run stopper in the nation, right? He was one of the best run stoppers in the nation coming out of college. So he might already be up there. He might already be up there as a run defender. We just ain't seen it yet because he ain't been on the field. But yeah, the talent's already there. But yeah, so like we're super deep. We actually did a show earlier when we were talking about camp bodies and depth and all these other different kind of things. So it's gonna be tough. I don't think. Listen, it's gonna be tough, man, for some of these so-called camp bodies to make the team. Cause look at our undrafted free agent class. Like we're super deep. I mean, I think you just go position by position, it's going to be even harder. Because look at your defensive backs. Trayvon Diggs a lock. Stephon Gilmore's a lock. Deron Bland's a lock, right? They traded up for Eric Scott, so he's a lock, right? So he's probably going to be a lock. Who else, right? We know that they kept Jordan Lewis around. So that if they ain't cut him by now, he's gonna be on the team till at least mid-season, in my opinion. So Jordan Lewis gonna make the team. They still got Kelvin Joseph and CJ Goodwin for special teams purposes. So I don't know how any other corner's gonna make the team. And then I still ain't even mentioned Nahshon Wright unless somebody throws him off a cliff. And even then, you still need depth. It's definitely gonna be one. One y'all not thinking about pass rushers. Remember, we got Isaiah Land, Darrell Johnson, and we got Tyrese Wheat as undrafted free agents. Then, we already got Micah, D-Law, we got DA, we got Sam Williams, right? DeMarcus Lawrence, Dante Fowler. Like, you got crazy depth for pass rushers. So like I think only one of your undrafted free agents is gonna make it. And if I had to take a wild guess, I think it's Isaiah Land. I think Land makes it, and it's tough because I'm high on the real. I'm high on the real Johnson. So yeah, it's gonna be some heartbreaking cuts, at the end of camp. JJ the Mind, what's up with you, man? Appreciate you for tapping in, showing love to the channel. So yeah, so those are definitely some key positions where there's some great talent that might slip away because we don't have enough roster spots. I wouldn't be surprised if they start hoarding people on IR though. Like I wouldn't be surprised if people get stuffed on IR, to avoid them ending up getting cut, things like that. Like real talk. Yeah, it's gonna be some man. It's gonna be some sad cuts, man. Like, yeah, the practice squad. And that's the thing, because you can sign anybody. You can sign somebody off anybody practice squad at any time. So you're not even safe putting some of these players on your practice squad, man. Like some of these guys aren't going to survive on the practice squad long at all. So man, you got to put these guys on IR. You got to tell them to just get a doctor's note. Yeah, so it's time for Q&A, man. So what about the draft pick from UNC, Awesome Richards? He's about 2 years off, man. Awesome Richards is about 2 years away from being somebody, that we can rely on, and that's fine. That the Dallas Cowboys have depth. They have some guys, but like if you're talking about plug and play, somebody I think that could possibly play for you and contribute a little bit quicker than Awesome, it would be my guy TJ Bass out of Oregon. I'm very high on him, especially since he was the number one graded zone blocking offensive lineman in the NCAA, and we're moving to a zone blocking scheme this year. Yeah, it's gonna have to be year 3 for Awesome, because I think he still has to figure some things out. Now he's improved, he's improved every single year, right? I was not very high on him at all when they initially drafted him, but I do see the potential in his upside. But he just wasn't a ready-made player for me. So that's why I was a little more down on the pick. But because they are talking right, because they're talking about doing the no nonsense thing of playing Tyler Smith at left guard, letting Tyron Smith resume his natural position of left tackle, doing this and that, then I feel more confident about giving some guys some opportunities to develop. Jerry Jones might have to hire some of these. Yeah, you gotta have some people. How people hide money in Swiss bank accounts. They're gonna have to take these boys to Switzerland or something. They're gonna have to have a squad of players in Switzerland on standby. But yeah, we got time for some project players now. So I'm not rushing him. He's a 5th round pick. If he becomes somebody, cool. But I'm not relying on him this year, no way. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. And listen, the rule of thumb for me, I'm not relying on any rookie. Like these guys were just in college getting free lunch. Like I'm not expecting most of these guys to just walk into the NFL and whoop up on grown ass men with children and mortgages. Do you think we will pick up any more vets before training camp? We have no choice. The Dallas Cowboys have to take 90 people into training camp, and they only have 88. So the Dallas Cowboys are going to pick up at least 2 more people because they have no other option. You got to bring 90 people in. You only got 88 spots. So I expect them to sign a kicker, and then they might bring in another quarterback. I'm just taking a wild guess because I don't really know any other area that we actually need. Marquise Bell, yeah, I like Marquise Bell. I like him a lot. So yeah, we'll see though. We'll see. That's good for him because people like Dak and Steele didn't get the option to develop. Yeah, Dak got through to the Wolves and showed it Terrence Steele. The difference between Dak and Terrence Steele is Dak, looked good. He had the infrastructure in place to play quarterback at a high level when he first got into the league. And then Terrence Steele was pretty much on his own on an island playing right tackle, and he had to go through his bunch of bruises. But they both got through to the Wolves. Yeah, there are a lot of guys in front of him, but it might be another year before Marquise Bell gets an opportunity just because of the depth. Because I think they're counting Izzy as a safety this year. I believe so. It still got J-Ron Curse, who has at least 1 more year in his contract. Malik Hooker, but that's the thing. I think it's going. That's why I say it's going to be a year. Because Malik Hooker, I think this is the last year of his contract. It's the last year of J-Ron Curse's contract. So that's why I think it's going to be a year before Bell is given an opportunity to step up and move into a role. Yeah, listen, Gallup should have never came back until he was completely healthy. I don't care about them gaslighting me or making me feel some type of way. I would not have walked back on that football field until I felt like I could play. We know that he got rushed back, but he should have spoke up for himself, man. He shouldn't have let them finesse him into playing with his health, because if he had went out there and got hurt again, man, then it definitely would have been over for that boy. So yeah. But listen, I think he's ready this year though, man. I definitely think he's ready. Michael H., I said the same thing. And listen, I love Curse, but I think that the Dallas Cowboys will try to get cheaper. I don't think that they'll give him another contract. They really should have, honestly, because I wanted to keep him around a little bit longer. They should have just gave him a multi-year deal, like a 3 or 4 year deal when they first signed him. But it is what it is. But yeah, I definitely could see Overshown taking a similar role. He has more of a natural linebacker body. Because what people don't understand is Overshown is like he has Curse. Like Curse is taller, is a little taller. But Overshown is actually built a little bit more like a linebacker. He's about 230 pounds. Curse is like 207. So he got over 20 pounds on Curse to handle some of that contact. I believe so too, man. I just had not an argument, but I did have a disagreement with my brother Landlord from Alabama. Shout out to him about Malik Hooker. And he was saying that Malik Hooker is an upgradable position, but I think he's serviceable enough for us to go out there and compete and win games that I don't think he'll ever cost us a game. So you want to revisit this next year when his contract is up. And if you want to spend a premium pick on a safety, that's a different story. But right now, I think he's good enough to help us and be a starting safety on a Super Bowl team. Until Kurt stays, especially because of his leadership, and that's if Over is ready to take that role. The young man hasn't played a snap yet. Yeah, that is true. But we're talking from the standpoint of the front office. We know how they get down. So Klebo said he's seen a rumor that they're trying to trade for him. Okay, I like Raheem Mostert. He's a damn good back. Yo, what's up with you, Deshaun Taylor? Thank you for tapping in, showing love to the liquor store, my guy. He said West Coast just went live. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go over there in just a second and check him out, man. Do you think Land can grow into a linebacker? I think Land is more of a Michael Parsons kind of player than he ever will be a true traditional linebacker. You know, his strength is getting to the quarterback. Let's keep him at his strength. Oh, listen, I think that Dalvin's going anyway. You know, I think that Dalvin is going anyway, and then they're going to trade Raheem Mostert away. And listen, he will be a true, rotational back because he only had 181 carries last year. Still turned that to 891 yards. He averaged 4.9 yards a carry. So he still got it. And we're not asking him to be the primary back or anything like that. We're just asking him to come in and relieve Tony Pollard. And it wouldn't cost that much to bring him in. Yeah, but health is an issue for Raheem Mostert. So I think that him having a rotational role will be fine in Dallas. Yep, that is true, Michael. All right, but yeah, man. So I gave you about an hour of some good content, man. So I appreciate y'all for tapping in, showing love to the liquor store. I appreciate you. On the way out, I need y'all to hit that like button. I need y'all to hit that share button. I need y'all to hit that Cash App, Super Chat, Super Stickers. Hit an Eagles fan, slap the shit out their ass, because you slap an Eagles fan, you get half off all the merchandise in the liquor store, man. And you want a cow burrito for the low. You want one. They fine. So yeah, man, I appreciate y'all for everything. Shout out to y'all. He said that's why D-Law still here, in my opinion. Hey, forget the leadership. DeMarcus Lawrence was the number one ranked defensive end against the run. He was the number one ranked defensive end against the run. So he's one of the best run defenders in the National Football League. And even though he's not a sack master, that's whole value, especially for a team that can't stop the run. Hey, shout out to Mickey for the donation. They got you another entry for this Dallas Cowboy ticket. So salute to you. So Mickey, you now have 5 entries. So Mickey, you have the third best odds of winning the Dallas Cowboy ticket. So salute to you. Because VA roster X got the best odds with 14. Neil has 7 entries, and then Mickey, you got the third best odds. You got 5 entries. So salute to you. Man, the unit couldn't stop the run. That's why their ass sitting there. Oh, yeah, the unit. But hey, they ain't got nothing to do. Hey, they ain't got nothing to do with D-Law. Like, hey, he did his job. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, but you're right. His leadership is one of the reasons he's still in the building. Oh, it's all good. I appreciate you. I see you. She said she forgot about the supers. But hey, I appreciate you either way, man. Thank you for the super chat. But hey, and I will argue that the Dallas Cowboys did play better against the run this postseason because we completely stopped the Buccaneers, and we still held the 49ers in checking the run game too. Matter of fact, let me get the exact numbers before we get out of here. Let me get the exact numbers before we get out of here. Dallas Cowboys versus San Francisco 49ers. Playoff game. Okay. So let's take a look at their rushing production real quick. All right, so check this out. The 49ers did not have a single running back average 4 yards a carry when we played them. Elijah Mitchell had 14 carries for only 51 yards. That's 3.6. Christian McCaffrey had 10 carries for 35 yards. It's only 3.5 yards a carry. Debo had 4 carries for 11 yards. Brock Purdy had 3 carries for only 8 yards. And Kyle Juszczyk had 1 carry for only 8 yards. So, I think we played good defense against them, run defense against them. It's just that we turned the ball over. Hey, appreciate you, DMV. I see you, man. Thank you for the love, man. Salute to you. So, I think they played better overall against the run. Now, I still think we need to get better against the run, right? Overall, especially up the middle. But I think as a whole, we played the run a lot better than we did in years past. But yeah, man, I appreciate you. I'm out. Thank God for y'all. I'm finna tune in the Cuz show for a little bit. And if anything breaking happens, then I'll be back live later on, man. Appreciate you. God bless. And I'm gonna get at y'all later. Peace.